A media expert and staff of Luxterra Foundation, Inya Ode, has encouraged communicators in the church to avoid creating nuisance at places of worship. She said this during an interview with CTV News Crew at the Church of the Archangels Parish, Gaduwa, Abuja, where she facilitated a training for lectors and members of the communications unit of the church.
As a communicator, one thing that we must not overlook is the place of feedback, because I never ever shy away from criticism, because there are some people may not be happy with what we're putting out, or there are corrections that we need to take, to make, and all of that. We should not be afraid of feedback. We should be open to feedback, open to the fact that people know better than us out there and are more experienced. So we should be open to feedback and open to criticism to make us better at the end of the day. I think another point is realizing that you're just a minute part of a big scheme, of a larger scheme of worship to the Lord, not distracting others, not being a source of nuisance. Let me use that word in inverted commas. Not being a source of nuisance to others, but helping others actually worship God. Everybody comes to church for that reason, getting closer to God. So we as ministers, we as communicators should also help in bringing people closer to God by the work that we do, whether it's by reading, whether it's by the announcements, whether it's by singing, whether it's by social media.
Participants also shared the lessons derived from the training, particularly in the area of receiving feedback as a source of evaluation that can help communicators improve in the discharge of their duties.
To people that can respond back to us, they should be able to respond back, and we should be able to take what they are giving us, whether we like it or not. And we should be able to take those feedback in grace and make the right applications when necessary. So yes, I agree that feedback is absolutely important in communication. I think very important, you need to work with clarity. If there is anything that you're going to do as a communicator, not just in the Catholic space, but like out there in the world, it is to be clear. And you have to be calm, you have to be calm in passing across your message. You have to be very, very bold and confident. And you have to understand that every time you have something to say, there are people that will always listen. So you have to calm yourself down and pass your message across clearly. And remember to pray also, because God is always going to help you out.
First of all, I will say a very big thanks to the organizers of this program, more especially the parish priest that provided the platform for us to come and air our quota through evangelization of Christ through communication. So the training, I would say, was first of its kind, and I must be sincere to say that it is very impactful. A lot of things were being said, but I have few things as a take home. In a global world, it is expected that once a communication is made, there is need to get a feedback. And in our training today, I think that was one of the components of the training, and I believe it has an impact. Whatever you are doing and nobody is evaluating it, whatever you are doing that nobody is criticizing, there will be no room for improvement. But I believe from the training today, the focus is more on feedback. We should take it as a communication team or people who are ministers in evangelization of Christ through communication. We should take feedback as point number one, because it will help us to know the areas that we are doing good and the areas that we are not doing good. It will help us to even evaluate what we are giving to society, how the society receives whatever we give. That will help us to improve. Then the second thing on today's activities was a data privacy that was echoed and re-emphasized. It is very, very important to seek for people's consent while taking their picture, because most of our pictures or most of the things we do in a communication team is not limited to our environment. It is open to a wider society.
The members from the media team, we have the lectors, we had catechism teachers, all of them coming together to share on the important subject of communication. But communication tied with the vocation of evangelization. So my role was to accompany them, learn together with them. The person, Dr. Ian, that came to speak to us, she opened our minds to different possibilities when it comes to communication, and we were able to learn so much, so many new things. So my hope and prayer is that as we continue to serve God spiritually and morally, and as we share this same vocation with others by the use of social media, especially, that we may become professionals also in occupying that space. So my message to the participants of the program of today, and by extension also to those who for no fault of theirs were not able to participate, but are actively engaged in our service and work here in the church. First, it is a message of thanks and gratitude. Thank you, and thank you again for the many works you are doing, often unrecognized by people. But the God who sees what is done in secret, na him go reward you. The second one na to encourage you now, to encourage all of us, make we not give up. As we are using our gifts, our talents and resources to work in the church of God, let us also by means of it seek sanctification, seek holiness, seek reconciliation and peace.